block if statement. So this is structured form of logical if statement. This statement executes a block of statements based on value of a logical expression. There are two forms of block if statement. The first form is called as if then statement and the second form is called as if then else statement. The if then statement is actually a special case of if then else statement. First we will learn about if then statement. So this flowchart graphically shows if then statement. Here we write the logical expression. If the logical expression evaluates to true, then this part is executed. That means these statements are executed. Here we should remember we can write more than one statements. So a group of statements will be executed if logical expression evaluates to true. After this group is executed, control will be transferred to next statement outside if, and if the condition is false, the control will be transferred to next statement outside if. So this group is a set of statements that will be executed if this condition is true. So this will be the additional part that will be executed. The syntax is like this. We write if, then write logical expression here, and here we write statements. So here statements T represent a set of one or more executable statements to be executed only if logical expression LE evaluates to true. Here LE is a logical expression. The second form of block if statement, called as if then else statement, is represented like this. This is the logical expression. This is the part to be executed if logical expression evaluates to true, and this is the part to be executed if logical expression evaluates to false. So one of the two sets of statements will be executed depending on value of logical expression LE. The syntax is like this. This shows logical expression. If this logical expression evaluates to true, then this part will be executed. Otherwise, this part will be executed. So any one of the two sets will be executed depending on value of logical expression LE. So here LE is the logical expression. Statement T is set of one or more executable statements executed only if logical expression LE evaluates to true. And similarly, statement F is set of one or more statements to be executed only if logical expression evaluates to false. This flowchart represents if then statement, or this flowchart uses multiple if then statements. Here, depending on value of x and y, we will display any one of the three messages using if then statement. So the flowchart representation like this. Here we input value of x and y, then we compare x with y. If x is less than y, then this part is executed. After this part is executed, control is transferred to this statement. If this condition is false, then control is again transferred to next statement, which is again a block if statement, that is if then statement. So if x is equal to y, this part will be executed. So the program will display message x is equal to y. After this, control will be transferred to this, and x will be compared to y, and this message will be displayed. We can see that only one of the three conditions can be true at one time. So if this condition is true, then this and this will be false, and therefore these two parts will not be executed. If this is true, then this and this condition, that is x less than y and x greater than y, cannot be true. So if x is equal to y, x cannot be less than y and x cannot be greater than y. So again, in this case, x is equal to y will be displayed. So this flowchart represents how to use if then statement. This program has been written using the same flowchart or the previous flowchart. So this is the programmatic representation of the flowchart. So here we read value of x and y, and if x is less than y, then it displays the message x is smaller than y, and then control will be transferred to next statement. If this condition is true, this cannot be true, so this part will not be executed, and again this this condition cannot be true, so this part will also not be executed. So this is how the program works. Any one of the three conditions will be true at a time, and one of the three output statements will be executed. So this we can see using the actual program execution. So here we can see that this is the program representation, or this is the actual program written in the force. We can execute the program and we can see how it executes. So first thing that will be done is it will display this message, enter two values x and y, will enter two values, and after that value of x will be compared with y. So either this condition will be true, sorry, this program represents embedded if. So sorry, this is not the correct program. So we'll go back to presentation and we'll see how to execute this program, or how to, sorry, this is the program representation of the if then statement. So this is the program representation of if then statement. So this is what we have seen earlier. So next flowchart shows embedded if or nested if. Here we have written if then else statement inside another if then else statement. So this is said to be nested if or embedded if, but the syntax and everything is same for as in case of if then else statement. So the working of this program is like this. Here we input values of x and y. After that x is compared with y. If x is less than y, this path will be followed, otherwise this path will be followed. So if this path is followed, this message will be displayed and control will be transferred to stop statement. If the yes path is not followed, then in that case control will be transferred to this statement. Here we've got another if statement. It compares x with y using this logical expression, is x equal to y. If x is equal to y, this output will be shown, that is x is equal to y, and control will be transferred to stop statement. And this is how this program works. So let us go back to the program. So this program represents nested if then statement. So let us execute the program and watch the output. So we'll enter two values, 12 and 78. So here x is less than y. So we get this output, x is smaller than y. Let us now watch the program and output simultaneously. So because first value, that is value of x, is less than y, then this part will be executed, and because this condition is true, control will be transferred to outside if. So after this statement is executed, control will be transferred outside if, that is to stop statement. We can execute the program again and see what happens in case x is equal to y. So here we get this message. Let us go back to program and compare the output with the program. So here x is equal to y. So the first condition that will be executed is the evaluated will be x less than y. So because this condition is false, control will be transferred to the else part. Now this condition, that is x is equal to y, is true, and therefore this part will be executed. After this, the else part will be skipped and control will be transferred to end if. That transfer control to this end if, and then back to stop state. So this is how the program executes.